Hi everyone, welcome to week 6. I'm Professor Gustin and we're in human biology, and this week we're going to be doing cardiovascular, specifically blood. And before I go into that, I just wanted to make a couple comments about the exam we took in week 4. And I got the results week 5, so I haven't had a chance to talk to you about that yet. If you look at the distribution of the grades, you would see that the most common grade in the class was an A, and the second most common grade in the class was an F. And that tells me a lot about what's going on in the class. It tells me that the material is manageable if you can sit down and study it and practice and do what you need to do. But it also tells me it's hard to do that. It gives me that idea that the content isn't particularly hard, but it's really more of a studying thing. And it's kind of like at the beginning of the semester in a live class when I'm trying to learn the students' names. There's a lot of names, and it's not particularly hard to learn names, but if I don't practice learning those names, I will not know them. And I look at the same thing with the lecture material, especially biology like this. There's a ton of vocabulary, a lot of concepts, a lot of pictures to look at. And any one thing is not terribly hard to learn, but what's the hard thing is there's so much of it. And then if you don't take the time to sit down and actually practice it, you're not going to get it in your mind. And when I say studying, you know what I mean. I mean, like you have to sit down. First of all, you have to take good notes. Remember, I write the tests from the lecture study guides. I use the vocabulary, I use the learning outcomes on those lecture study guides. So you should have really good notes in your lecture study guide. You look at an outcome and you should be able to state that without your notes. If I just look at, I'm trying to find myself a lecture study guide. Here we go. For example, here we go. Describe the, let me see, what's one? Describe the general functions of proteins in the human body. That's one of your learning outcomes. And I would just say proteins make up a lot of the structure in the body and form the enzymes. That's it. I don't need paragraphs and paragraphs of information to get that in there. Okay. Describe the unique characteristics of protein shape and why the shape of a protein is important. Protein shape determines its function, and it's important because without that shape it can't perform its function normally. And then I'll look at those vocabulary words, and there's things like enzymes and denaturation. So I know that proteins are enzymes. What are enzymes? What happens when they're denatured or unfolded? So it's not as much as you might think it has to be. You really need to, when you take notes, get right to the point and try to answer those learning outcomes. And that's what you're going to go review. One thing you can do to see how things are going is go back in your, I know I only give you, you can only look at your test answers, what you got wrong. But go back there and see, are those answers in your notes? Is it a problem of taking notes, or is it a problem of reviewing those notes? Okay, so there's a lot of room. We've got tons of grades left in this class. There's a lot of room to move those grades up. In fact, even if you got you failed the exam, all those lab things and all those lecture assignments, they really helped your grades. So just keep at it and kind of up your studying a little bit for those of you that didn't do well. For all those A's, that was a shocking number of A's, and you guys did a great job. I really appreciate your effort. I love it. My goal is to always have a class full of A's, B's, and C's, and eliminate the D's and F's. We need to get those up. Contact me if you have any help. You need any help, and you want to talk about it. Meanwhile, we're going to be doing cardiovascular and blood. There's a lecture study guide and several videos to watch that cover the content on the lecture study guide. There's a lecture assignment, one of those adaptive learning ones that you've done before, and a lab handout on blood. A couple things on that lab handout. One of the things we talk about is blood typing. And blood typing is one of those things that some people catch on to it really fast, and other people have a hard time grasping the ideas. So if you're having a hard time with blood typing, I'm glad to talk to you about it. Contact me. The other one is, I'm going to ask you on the quiz, if you can figure out the blood type, who can you donate that blood to, and who can you receive the blood from. And again, those are concepts that it's kind of once you get it, it sticks, but some people just have a hard time getting there. So if you're having trouble with that, let me know and I'll be glad to help. We can have a virtual meeting or talk on the phone or by email or whatever works for you. There's a lab quiz right from the handout. And let me just warn you, I do a blood typing thing in there, and I do ask who do you donate to and who can you receive from. So make sure you recognize all that. And meanwhile, it's week 6. We're about a third of the way through the semester. So good luck this week. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help. Take care.